Hey, 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 beautiful people. The missing strategy that's costing you thousands per month and even more per week. We're continuing with our theme of the truth is you wouldn't even buy from you if you didn't know this. You've got your content strategy, your ad strategy, your social media strategy. You got even your strategy has a strategy. But there's one that you're missing, and usually, more oftentimes than not, it's the one that's standing right in front of you, staring you in the face, and you know nothing about. But we are going to clarify tonight. What's the meaning? If you ask 50 business owners what branding is, you'll probably get 50 different answers, and it's even worse for branding strategy. For some reason, it's being seen as a confusing and convoluted process that isn't worth the time, but that couldn't be further from the truth. After speaking with enough entrepreneurs over the years, what I want to do is put an end to the confusion and create something that would allow you all to build a successful brand strategy without the jargon, complex processes, or long workshops. Remember, do not deviate from what works. We talked about yesterday, marketing has not changed in over 100 years, just the way we deliver it. All right. So, a brand strategy. That's what you need. You've got to have that at the foot and at the foundation. All of the strategies combined are worthless and regurgitated without your stamp of approval or your particular brand. Remember who you are, the brand, and the strategy that it represents. So, I'm going to help you walk through this step by step process of defining and aligning your brand attributes, your voice, your users, which should give you a great starting point for your brand strategy to start moving forward. We want you to kill it in these streets, okay? So, first of all, you must brand thyself. So if you're losing business because your brand visuals, your messaging, and your voice are out of sync, if you're unsure of where to start when it comes to creating a successful brand strategy, if you don't know how to create a strong brand that exudes your business's personality and attracts a passionate following, that's what we're here for tonight, and we're going to make it super, super simple. But the bottom line is, you must have a brand strategy. So let's get to it quick. After researching and advising and designing brands for over a decade, using that experience to launch ECM groups, where our sole purpose is to help clients achieve brand clarity, I've discovered that many people and many companies, from mom and pop shops to some of the largest corporations in the world, they struggle to formulate and implement brand strategies that work. Why? Because branding is a vague, abstract, and it's too much. It's just too much and too many to actually name or to pin down. Brand strategy is usually found in a 200 plus page tomb full of corporate jargon. And I know this is true because I worked in the banking industry. It's a horror. It's a horror. Complex business strategies are difficult to share, but the sign of intelligence is being able to take complex information or bits and bytes of information and make them very, very simple. So, not to daggone day, are we going to go into the contrite and the contrived? We're going to break it down for you. Now, we want you to just be cool. We want you to just simplify everything that you've heard thus far about branding strategy, if you've heard it at all. We're going to simplify this process, and our hope is that you come away with a better understanding of what your brand is and a strategy that will help you convert your customers into passionate advocates. Because let me tell you something, the best people to advertise your business are those who have already been in your business and have had excellence experience with you. All right. So if you want to move this step even further, we're here for you. You know where we are. You can click the link in the bio, ecmgroups.com, download your 10 must haves to grow your business button, and we'll get you together fast. So here's the foundation. I was watching this movie the other day on Netflix, and this person was asking about atheists and whether they're bad people. And the person responded to him and said, no. He said, absolutely not. He said, but a house is a beautiful thing, but if it doesn't have a foundation, you better pray that the earth doesn't shake. And not too long after I saw that movie, there were earthquakes in California. So I was like, wow, it's deep. But having a foundation costs you. It costs you, and it's going to cost you a little bit to do the heavy lifting in the beginning. But imagine if you have to build a foundation under the house you just built during the process. It is a headache. So you might as well just get it out of the way from the jump, okay? You must have a deep understanding of the what, why, and how of your business. And we talk about this all the time. So we're not going to beat this in your head tonight. So these are some of the questions that you need to start asking of you, of your business partners about your business. But one of the questions that I want you to pay a particular attention to tonight is what sets you apart? What are your company's greatest strengths? And how does it contribute to the why of your business? Actually, I got ahead of myself. But if you want to, just freeze this slide and go down each and every one of these questions in terms of what you're trying to fulfill with your business. All right. We talked about archetype and building personas from your business, and the successful brands that we know have a clear picture of who their users are and what their users' goals are and how they can help their clients and their customers actually achieve those goals. And so the question that I want you to hone in on this slide is, who does your customer want to become, and how can you help them get there? You'll notice all of the questions are very targeted and very narrowed down to what you need to do in order to be of some assist to your audience. Brand positioning. This has got to be one of the most singular important slides that's here tonight. You defined the who, the what, the why, the how, and now it's time to put it all together into an easily understandable branding positioning statement. And this statement is a great way to get a quick view of who you are and where you are in the market. So if you'll freeze the slide, you'll see what our branding positioning or our brand positioning statement is and how it clearly clarifies who it is that we are, what we do, why we do it, how we do it, and why we are the next best natural progression in the step of our customers and our clients making their decision. All right. So your brand's voice, okay? You must define what your voice is going to be like. You have to set some guidelines in terms of what your brand sounds like to your audience. And the only way that you can do this is to perfect and hone in on who it is that you're talking to. This is a great way. A great way of doing this would be to contrast similar words, one that describes your voice and then one that does not. So once you're able to do this exercise, it can be used as a reference to keep your messaging consistent. And this is what you need to be able to pass on to anyone who's writing content or copy for your brand. All right. Your brand identity. Your brand identity is extremely important. And the most important part of it is ensuring that the physical representation of your brand is done so accurately and that it portrays who you are to your customers. I'm asking you outright. Does your logo convey your brand's personality? Do you have a style guide that outlines your brand's typography, your colors, your photography? If you don't have it, you better get one fast. And they include all of these that are listed here. Freeze the slide and keep it moving. Get it together. And now you're going to need an action plan because you have all of the foundational work and now you have to put that all together and you have to understand how that's going to work in the real world. You have to dive deeper into your brand, perform a competitive audit. You have to analyze and document what the competitor brands are doing and what they're doing it for and so on and so forth. You're going to need help from us. So we declare and decree that you will hit that link in the bio. And once you download our freebie, you'll be taken through the process. It is what it is. If you're serious, come on. If you're not, you better keep moving on because it is not time for play. Our atmosphere tonight has been presented by Ebony Lakeith, our friend out in Washington, D.C., luxury apparel and accessories. And she's also the author of Crowned, a 60-day self-care journal. Hit the link in the bio. Feel good, look good, and be good. Turn on the notifications.